people, and today we're breaking down film on Devon Achane, Miami Dolphins running back, and in my opinion has been the Dolphins' best player this season through the first 6 weeks, making plays in every single one. Like he's just a special, rare weapon to have out of the backfield. Not like most running backs, because I can confidently say, and you can't usually say this, about many players on the Dolphins being the best at something, but I do think he is the best receiving back in the league. And then obviously, as a runner, also creates some big explosives. Sometimes relies, I think, a little bit on having better O line play, but he is also a guy that can create when things aren't perfect. Just overall, very explosive player. Very rare to have this type of talent because he's a great receiver in terms of he can be a check down guy that gets yak. He is a smaller guy, but he plays with a lot of toughness, gets a lot of contact balance, fight through people, make people miss out in space. Very special ability with the yak right there. He's also a guy that can run routes out of the backfield in the slot. He can run routes downfield, playing on the outside. And then he also has amazing hands. Like he can, go up and win, on higher balls, catch it above the frame, make contested catches, which is just very rare to find. And then just as a runner, you're seeing him, I think, play with more confidence this year. I mean, I think they're blocking a little bit better up front. So he's finding, I think, more success consistently this year than compared to last year. And obviously his rookie years when he had the crazy rushing numbers on, less carries. I think, they can probably get back to that with some better O-line play. But Achane, all around, is such an impressive player. And I know he's been in some of the trade rumors. I don't really see Achane or Waddle getting traded unless they got some crazy offer, which is very, very unlikely. I think Phillips and Chubb are really the only ones out of that rumor, that report, that are really likely to get traded. I know teams will call about Achane and Waddle, but these guys are long-term options, and usually running backs, they have pretty short shelf lives, in the NFL. But I think Achane is someone that eventually, as the years go on, you can kind of transition to him into be a slot receiver / change of pace back more for you. So if you ever do get the opportunity to maybe have a bell cow running back, you could prolong Achane's career by maybe limiting his touches a little bit, but it should, help him in the long run and, get him, better touches, more quality touches, and, maybe not as much quantity. But I want to start with the receiving part of his game because I think that's what kind of makes him special. Like this, the Dolphins are very, this is very rare, this type of play where they're able to get Achane isolated on a linebacker. That's why he's so tough to play against because, teams playing man-to-man, they're playing cover 2 man. They don't really want to play a lot of man versus Miami. But when they play cover 2 man like this, you got 2 linebackers on the field, you basically are forced to have a linebacker isolated on Achane, and he's running an angle route out of the backfield. This is free money. Boom, break across the face, catch the ball in stride, and then he just has such great acceleration. Look at his step frequency. Look how quick his feet are moving. Insane step frequency. And then also, his contact balance and play strength is so good for his size. He does a great job of breaking through those tackles. And then making him play like this. Making him play like this for a running back is not normal. Running a out and up down on the goal line that turns into a fade in the back of the end zone and going up, tracking the ball in, attacking it at its highest point, having to flip your hips in the air too to catch that ball, and then also to dead leg to get 2 feet in bounds, showing that type of awareness of where you are in the field is not normal. Running backs do not make this type of play. You haven't seen this type of receiving talent in the league since Christian McCaffrey. And obviously McCaffrey's still in the league, but he's not like that. He's not quite the same player he used to be. That's why, Achane's kind of overtaken him. But this is McCaffrey in his prime type receiving ability, making those types of plays. Here, this is when the game is a game of inches. This was almost a potential game winner for Achane. He just slightly steps out of bounds. But look at this cut. He catches this ball and he teleports, man. He starts to prepare for it. He kind of catches the ball jumping. Look how he transitions that into the nastiest jump cut where he literally teleports to the side, but he also gets upfield vertically. The fact that he's able to make this nasty jump cut, but actually accelerate out of it as well and get upfield, not normal. That is not normal at all. The athleticism that he shows, just a big play waiting to happen. Unfortunately, steps out there. Here's another play where they get him isolated, angle route, basically on a linebacker. I mean, they're not running man to man here, but it's just free pitch and catch for him out of the backfield. It's something that teams have to account for. He's also a guy you can throw these swing passes to. I know some people get mad about these routes, but this is one it didn't matter in the outcome of the game, but the fact that he scores here is insane. Catch that ball, accelerate from the first defender, break through the arm tackle, pick your legs up, show good awareness in that spot, and then get downhill. Look at him drop his shoulder and pad level, throw a guy off of him. The fact that he gets into the end zone there with power from like the 3 with multiple guys on him is ridiculous. Really good stuff. Now we get to the running part of his game. I think he's done a good job. I think his vision has been better this year. Still some misreads at times, but nothing, definitely not as I think major as so far as last year. And he's just dynamic out in space. Uh, Good job kind of helping him set up the angled block, pressing up into this, and then making the first guy miss. Able to change directions really quickly without losing too much speed. Work through the initial arm tackle, make a nasty jump cut on 2 guys, get into the end zone. His jump cut that also goes upfield vertically is perfect. These next 2 plays are like ideal outside zone comeback plays. This is exactly what you want to see from Miami more often when they block things up, and he's just in my line scrimmage down. Boom. This guy's outside leverage. I'm not trying to get this to the outside. Then you read up in here. You feel this space open up on the back end, work up off this combo, and you just go press and cut. And then you're able to bend it back on your path, which is important. So you're able to maintain this. He presses up into his blocks. You press again, and then cut, hit that back end. And then now once you're up in this hole, you're able to also work your angle back on its path to get to the outside away from those defenders just to maximize yards. This is just like perfect pathing for a running back, running with really good pace behind the backfield to then hit acceleration. Really good work. Another play just like it where you just read, you identify really fast, you feel this backside open up, you press up into it, make this guy commit. Because some running backs might stick their foot in the ground right here and try to hit this cutback, but if you do that initially, it makes life easier on the linebacker. So the linebacker right there, if he sees an initial cutback right away, his angle goes here. This linebacker's gonna be able to adjust and get over there. The fact that he presses up into it, press up into this block, press up, and then cut, 8 is not able to get over the top and make that play, and Achane's able to accelerate through, and that's just like perfectly blocked outside zone. When you give Achane that, it's really, really hard to stop that. And he's also someone that can get to the outside. Like, look at this. Like, basically the linebacker is kind of running the alley here and is in the perfect spot. Like, he is basically even with Achane at this spot, but Achane has such special acceleration and speed. Look at him just pull away from him like it's nothing. Just an absolute angle breaker, man. Like, that is insane that if he gets out there and picks up a first down, when this linebacker is super clean to the outside, Achane is able to basically accelerate away from him, avoid it, but also get up to the block of his tight end on Julian Hill, and then able to cut back off of it and still pick up a nice first down on that gain. Achane making some plays kind of off script here. This play gets blown up. Like, Jonah's supposed to pull, Borum's to block down, but Jonah kind of gets taken away because Borum's not able to completely take that guy out of the way. 92 on his down block. So this whole play gets messed up. So Achane just instantly, look at him, just boom. Open up the hips, point the toe. Look at the lower body flexion that Achane has to accelerate to the outside. Like, this play should have been for nothing. But if you do not contain, which 50 does not contain, he gets super tight down low, just reading the box. If you do not contain versus Achane, he is going to make you pay for that every single time, even if it's not an outside zone play. Because he'll do stuff like this too on outside zone. Like, look at this play. So doesn't really have a cutback lane based on his aiming point here. When he gets this ball, like, these guys are to the inside. He might be able to stick his foot in the ground and get through here, but that's going to be, probably more like a 4 or 5 yard. He keeps pressing this to the outside. Let his blocks develop. Look at him. Look at the footwork here. Super clean footwork to, get up into this, bend this back to the outside, make this guy miss in such a tight space. And then another time where he just makes the guy miss in a tight space to get upfield and somehow ends up picking up the first down in that situation where he makes 2 guys miss in really tight spaces there. So very, very impressive work from Achane. Really, really fun to watch him go. Here's another play where I think the Dolphins are trying to hit like a wind back based on angle, so he should be trying to follow his fullback, but he just feels this space opening up. So just going based off pure awareness, like I'm saying, look at the lower body flexion, the cut, open the hips, the toe, makes for a clean transition to then get upfield and pick up a nice play. So being able to go a little bit off script there, get a little creative, always helpful. He's also just a big play waiting to happen. Love this concept, the pin pull that the Dolphins get here. Chargers are not expecting it, and the Dolphins basically get the exact look that they want, and it basically just isolates. Achane does a great job setting up his blocks. He gets a little patient right here. Look how he goes. He gets a little hesitation, little hesitation with his feet, which freezes the safety to be like, oh, I might have to anticipate a cutback. Like, so if Achane's little hesitation right there makes this safety not hard commit over. So now that he does that, it also helps him his center set up that block. Now that this guy's not in the right spot, like with this much room, you have to take a perfect angle because Achane has that elite acceleration speed to get to the end zone there. Lots of plays like this. Here's the toss. Look at him setting up, pressing this to the outside, finding the cutback. So able to bang through this hole on this toss. He's working off of Achane, but he identifies this linebacker working through here. He presses up into this, makes him commit. Now that he's pressed, boom, stick that foot on the ground, find the cutback lane, accelerate through, also get back on like your path to the outside once you hit that sort of second level, pick up a nice 15. Also, guy, like if you don't immediately set the edge, like look what 45 here as like the force defender. He tries to set the edge, but he does not set it hard enough and get to the outside on a toss play that Achane's able to easily get to the outside. Derwin James doesn't take a perfect angle, and as I'm saying, like Achane's acceleration is absolutely ridiculous to get to that corner pylon there. Not many running backs are getting there in the league, or not getting there that easily. It's like Achane, Gibbs, Bijan, maybe a couple others that you can count. Just very, very fun to watch player. Hopefully someone that can stick around for the long term, because I think he is a running back just based on his receiving skill set that you can work into having a more long term career. Like, I don't think he should ever full time switch to receiver. I know that some people think that. I don't think he would be as effective if he fully switched to receiver. I think, he's still got to be able to play running back, get running touches, get receptions out of the backfield, because I think that makes him super valuable. And then obviously, being able to line up in the slot on the outside, making plays there helps. I don't think that should be like his main goal, because he can still make a lot of those plays. Maybe trying to pair him up with someone who can take a bulk of carries in the future is something they can do. But Achane, very helpful. Definitely your most consistent player through the first 6 weeks. I think he's made impact plays in all 6 games. Even like the Panthers game, he had that receiving touchdown when he had like barely any rushing yards. They couldn't get any rushing success going. Just a very, very valuable special skill set that Achane possesses. So if you guys do like, comment, subscribe,